Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to put on our detective hats and crack a case that could make or break your next big project. How to see past a vendor's slick sales pitch and figure out what really makes them tick.
Okay, so let's dive in. Picture this. You're at this super critical point, right? You're about to sign on with a new partner. Maybe it's for some game-changing software or a really crucial supplier. But you've got that nagging question in the back of your mind. How do you really know you're making the right call?
Because, let's be real here. The stakes could not be higher. Partnering with the wrong vendor isn't just a minor headache. We're talking about a domino effect. Projects getting delayed, budgets just totally blown. It can be a real threat to your success, and a long-lasting one at that.
Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we've got a four-part game plan. First, we'll talk about why this choice is so important. Then, we'll look at the two main corporate playbooks out there. After that, I'm going to give you your own investigator's toolkit. And finally, we'll walk through making that final call.
All right, first things first. Let's get really clear on why this decision is so, critical. Understanding a vendor's core philosophy isn't just some nice-to-have piece of info. It's pretty much the best way to predict whether this partnership is actually going to work out long-term.
All right, time to bring in our two main suspects. Or, not so much suspects as the two fundamental mindsets that drive pretty much every single decision a company makes.
So when you boil it all down, every vendor is basically running their entire operation from one of these two playbooks. One is like this mad dash for quick profits, and the other, it's a total marathon, focused on building something that lasts with customers. And believe me, their finish lines are in completely different universes.
So, a shareholder-focused company, they have one, and I mean one, primary mission: make the most money possible for their investors. That's it. Every decision they make has to pass through that filter first.
And you can see how that mission plays out in the real world, right? You get this relentless focus on the short term. It's all about hitting those quarterly numbers, pumping up that share price, and a lot of times the easiest way to do that is to just aggressively cut costs, because, that gives them the quickest financial win. But on the other side of the coin, you've got the customer-focused organization. They are working from a totally different playbook, a different belief system. They believe that real, sustainable growth, that's just what happens when you do an amazing job of serving your customers. And you can see that belief in action too. It leads to a whole different set of behaviors. Instead of slashing budgets, they're investing. They're putting money into quality, into new ideas that come directly from their customers, and into building a brand that people really trust and want to stick with. Okay, theory time is over. Let's get practical. We've ID'd the two playbooks. Now let's actually open up that investigator's toolkit I mentioned, and I'll show you exactly how to find the evidence, to figure out which playbook a potential partner is actually running. So your investigation is going to focus on four key areas. Think of it like this. Their public statements, that's the crime scene. Customer feedback, that's all your witness testimony. Their employee culture, that's your inside source. And the financial reports, that's the paper trail. Each one gives you crucial clues.
Okay, first up, you've got to analyze what they're saying about themselves. Is their big mission statement all about customer obsession and delivering value, or is it just loaded with talk about maximizing shareholder returns? Listen to their leaders. When the CEO does an interview or gets on an earnings call, who's the hero of the story? Is it a customer they help succeed, or is it the earnings per share? Seriously, their own language is like a direct window into their priorities.
Okay, next, you got to talk to the witnesses. And by that, I mean their actual customers. This is where you find the unfiltered truth, right? You got to dig into those online reviews. I'm talking G2, Trustpilot, whatever, and look for patterns. What are people saying over and over again? And watch them on social media. How do they handle it when someone complains? Oh, and a high customer churn rate? A lot of people leaving? That is a massive red flag. It's basically your star witness screaming that something's wrong.
All right, clue number 3 is a big one. You have to look at how they treat their own people, their employees. A company that pours money into training its staff to actually solve customer problems, that tells you a lot. And check out their incentives. Are bonuses tied to customer SAT scores, or is it just about hitting sales targets? An empowered team that's genuinely focused on making customers happy, that's a huge green flag.
And finally, the part that never lies, you follow the money. Their financial reports are basically the hard evidence. It shows you where they actually put their cash. For instance, a company obsessed with its shareholders might slash its R&D budget just to make the quarterly numbers look better. But a customer-focused company, they'll consistently reinvest in R&D to make their product better for you down the line. The numbers really don't lie.
So, okay, we've gone through all this evidence.
What are the biggest, most glaring red flags you should be on the lookout for? I mean, what are the dead giveaways that a vendor's really playing for their shareholders and not for you?
You have got to be on high alert for these kinds of things. If you see this pattern of aggressive, constant cost cutting, especially when it starts to hurt the quality of their product, or if they're always doing layoffs while investing next to nothing in R&D, I mean, that's your signal. That's them telling you that a healthy long-term partnership with you will always come second to hitting next quarter's profit target.
Okay, so you've gathered all your evidence. Now it's time to step back, lay out all the facts, and come to a verdict that's truly right for your business.
Think of this as your final pre-partnership checklist. It helps you pull everything together. This isn't just about can they do the job. It's about how will they do it. Do their priorities actually line up with your company's values? Is their whole business model built to last, or is it all short-term thinking? And what are the real risks to you if their main focus is on making a quick buck, potentially at your expense?
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this. You need to find a partner whose definition of success is the same as yours. It can't just be about their stock price going up. Their success has to be tied directly to your success as their customer.
So as you go to make this huge decision, just remember this one thing. A truly great partnership, it isn't built on contracts or service-level agreements. It's built on a foundation of shared priorities. Before you sign anything, you just have to ask yourself, are we building on solid ground here or are we building on sand?